Hello and welcome back to Season 4, Episode 24. Had to double check that one.
I think it's 25.
I think it's 24. I think when I checked
Well, look, we don't know the numbers, do we?
But whatever episode it is of the Footballing Question podcast, we are back in the studio for the first time in a little while. Obviously, last week's we did an online episode. But yeah, we're back in the studio now, ready to get going. Let's just get started with our intro question as normal. For this episode, I came up with this one this morning. Best FIFA game of all time.
Oh,
That's a good question.
can I say there is like a 5-year period, I'd say,
Yeah.
peak.
Really?
And I'd say it begins in like 2012.
I think it definitely begins around 2012, 2013.
That is like when it's
Yeah.
basically the invention of Ultimate Team. That's like when it begins the peak.
From my experience, I think 2013 is the first one.
FIFA, do you think FIFA 13?
That's where it starts.
Yeah,
Me?
I think FIFA 12, FIFA 13, when it was like peak on YouTube
Yeah.
as well.
I
That's
don't
like-
know if FIFA 13 is my favourite.
No, I think my personal favourite is either 14 or 18.
My
Because I played a lot of them.
personal favourite, in terms of gameplay, in terms of enjoying myself, in terms of having fun. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun right now. I'm also really happy because FIFA finally released an Arsenal right-back card last night, meaning I can finally complete a full Arsenal team. Ben Wright at right-back, loving it. But my favourite FIFA, I think, in terms of just, I wasn't winning, but like I was okay with it. The skill gap was good. I think FIFA 17. It was the first with the new game engine. The journey before it was shit. Shouldn't have said that. The journey when it was like exciting and new and not rinsed to hell. It was actually all right. And it was pretty much just the Marcus Rashford game, but it was so good. It was so peak.
No, I like that.
I'm going to go with a controversial one because the one I actually enjoyed the most and the one I actually played the most was actually probably FIFA 20.
Yeah.
Like lockdown.
Oh, here's the thing. I got bored of it. I had I packed Tim and Haaland, and I didn't care because I was playing it so much. I had like an existential FIFA crisis, and I was like, "What am I doing? I'm winning the same game over and over and over again. Like, why am I doing this? What do these cards mean to me? The new FIFA's out in a few months, but in terms of pro clubs and that, I was having a lovely time.
That's what I mean. I mean, 14, 15, they're in there, but 20 for me actually. Yeah.
Fair.
Fair play. Right, let's get on with it.
That's a very good question.
Well, I know. I'm really proud of that one. Let's get on with the results. Obviously, we had FA Cup and Premier League this weekend. We'll start with the FA Cup, and I think we're going to start with Manchester United, if that's all right with you guys. Obviously, in the 90, in extra time, 0-0 against Brighton. I think it was just an average display from both teams.
No.
Really.
Man United, no. Brighton got absolutely robbed. It was some say Brighton didn't play that great. Man United didn't play that great. Brighton should have won that. I think.
Did you watch the game?
Think no, but I listened to it. And
I rate you listen to the radio there.
And I just think Brighton dominated. Really, I think they got the better chances. I just think you got a little bit lucky with the ref. Very lucky that you've got a man like De Gea in goal. And as a kind of a partial Brighton fan at the moment, I'm just gutted for them really. I'm just gutted.
No.
May I just say, saying they're lucky to have De Gea is hilarious after Thursday night. But from looking at the statistics and peering in while I was cooking at every odd kick of a football every 5 minutes, it very much seemed like Brighton may be the more likely to score, but it's not the best Brighton performance. You'd expect them to play a lot better. You reduced Brighton to just 1 XG. They won on XG, but still, they're a team which are a great attacking side, and Wan-Bissaka seemed to have a good game.
Wan-Bissaka passed the Matoma test.
I think the thing with Wan-Bissaka, right, is he can't get dribbled past, but that seems to be the only thing he's good at. But it works. If you just put people around him and stop people from cutting inside,
Did you see
he does
James
his job.
Madison's tweet last night? Madison was praising him.
the weird thing is, because they took his tick away, I was like, how do I know this is Madison? Then you go on his bio and it just says Leicester City. And I'm like, it feels fake.
James Madison praising Wan-Bissaka. I say Wan-Bissaka passed the Matoma test, but Matoma failed the Wan-Bissaka test. And now I need to see one thing and one thing only. Vinicius Junior against Wan-Bissaka. Well, will be the battle of the century.
You are, probably going to qualify for the Champions League, so that's...
Yeah. You never know, maybe next year.
Wan-Bissaka's an immense defender. He always has been, and I kind of wish we had him at Arsenal, but looking back on his attacking potential, maybe not.
Speaking of Arsenal, I'd compare him a lot to Tomiyasu in that last season, I thought he was so good for us. I couldn't imagine us getting rid of him, or well, not getting rid of him, but like replacing him in the lineup. But now we play so much better without him in terms of attacking down that side. It's like he's good for now, but to get to that next step, you're going to need someone who can do the attacking side.
But also, his attacking outlet has really improved.
It's gone up.
Did you see? It was towards the end of the game. Brighton had a corner or something, and we went on the counter attack. And Wan-Bissaka ran round so many of the Brighton players, like dribbled through them all, and created a good chance. But obviously we didn't score. But
reminds me a bit like Gary Neville in the aspect of like, you know, initially he's really good at defending, and he's struggling early on in his career to, you know, like attack well. And now he's getting better at it. Like, yeah, he's doing well.
I still do think, you know, he is a defensive-minded fullback, and I'm not saying get rid of him. I'm just saying, you know, keep him because he's a good option. But if you want to get to that next step, and the next step is obvious, the next step is challenge for the title.
Yeah,
you know, you want that complete 11.
I also wanted to say that Victor Lindelof was fantastic in that game, and obviously scored the winning penalty. So
it's a good
props to
penalty.
him.
Really
yeah.
good penalty.
And as well, Casemiro actually, when we were huddled before the penalties, said, "I'll take the first one," which is really, really good. I love a player that will say, "Look, I'll take the first one. I'll step up." And Casemiro did that.
I'd always take the first one.
So
I'd always take the first one. Also, especially because if you miss it,
get out of the way.
If you miss it, the thing is, you usually get forgotten about, because probably if you miss it, you set the tempo and someone else does it.
But no, I rate that. Manchester United getting to the FA Cup final, where they will play Manchester City, who won 3-0 against Sheffield United. Manchester Derby final.
Is it the first time?
Yeah, it is. Which is bizarre.
Which is mental. Yeah. It shows that you've not really been getting to the FA Cup final as of late.
Riyad Mahrez getting a hat-trick in that game, it was just sort of like Manchester City are so good and Sheffield United are unlucky to... Sheffield United at the start of that game created the better chances.
Yeah.
They started really well and...
Did anyone see the limbs from the first goal? It's insane. Also, I find it hilarious that a team from Manchester and a team from the South Coast went to London, packed the stadium out, and a team from Sheffield and a team from... Sheffield United I'm not going to blame, but Man City...
I mean, the stadium was obviously not filled, and I will pose this question to you. Do you think that we need to change the way that the FA Cup semi-finals are done? Should they be played at Wembley and force teams like these two teams from the north travelling down, expenses and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Should we move it to another stadium?
I think look, my argument isn't to do with travel. My argument has nothing to do with fans. I think Man City should be able to sell out Wembley. Yeah. You know, if you're getting bored of Wembley, then do you know what? Get Chris Wilder as a manager and get relegated. Do you know what? If you're enjoying winning too much, let someone else have a go. Do you know what? Let us win the league if you're tired of it. But the thing is, I do think Wembley should be special.
Yeah, it should be
more. The trip to Wembley should be special, and then if you're doing it twice in the space of 2 months,
but I think
again, you know,
I think the reason why Wembley is the semi-final is because, and why it's the semi-final for the... it's not the semi-final for the Carabao Cup.
No, it's not.
But I think the reason why it is for the FA Cup is because small teams like Brighton and Sheffield United, if they don't have that semi-final chance, they have a very slim chance of ever getting to Wembley.
No, but here's the thing, it might add extra motivation, because they've already got that trip to Wembley.
Yeah, regardless of the motivation, you know, they're going to most likely come up against a Manchester United or a Man City or, you know, a big side in that semi-final, and then they're not even going to make it. Also, expenses and stuff. They play half their league games in away stadiums when they have to travel across the country.
That's true.
Wembley's, I think that's great that it's the semi-final.
I like the idea, like my dad talks about the fact that, you know, he was there in, I think it was 2002, when we had a semi-final against Sheffield United at Old Trafford.
Yeah, I think it should be a neutral ground.
And, you know...
is Wembley not a neutral ground?
I mean, it is.
But like, it's nice at like different grounds.
Yeah.
Like,
I
always find it interesting when England don't play at Wembley. You know, because I find it funny, we're one of the few countries which have a definitive home ground for our nation, whereas like Spain play at the Bernabeu and like the Camp Nou, Camp wherever. Like, I like it when we use these different grounds and put them to use. Just tell Aston Villa one week, can you play away from home this week? Like, we're booking out Villa Park for the semis or whatever, or like Stadium of Light, or Riverside, St James's.
I mean, that's just a hideous point of view for both of you. But
I think it's going back to it's what it was like. It's what it was like in the.
Let's use these stadiums that are used every single week by their teams. No,
teams don't play at home every week.
Yeah, but they do more often than teams play at Wembley. We need to use Wembley, don't we?
You do realise England play, right?
Yeah, about 6 times a year at Wembley.
About England women?
How many times Aston Villa play at their home ground a year?
19. at least,
Right,
and then cups.
Next question.
Well, right, that was the FA Cup games. Obviously, Man United, Man City.
I don't think
If I disagree with it, I'm going to disagree with it. I think it's absolute load of
I don't know why you're this angry about it.
excrement.
Right, let's talk about some of the Premier League games. I'll go through some results that I don't think we really need to mention too much. Fulham beating Leeds 2-1. Everton drop into the relegation zone after a 0-0 draw with Crystal Palace and after Leicester win 2-1 against Wolves. Liverpool beating Nottingham Forest 3-2 in a tight game where they could have very easily thrown it away. Brentford and Aston Villa playing out a 1-1 draw. Aston Villa really looking like they're
Proper,
getting solid in Europe, and that's a fantastic result for both teams, I think. Bournemouth as well, hosting West Ham. West Ham putting 4 past them in a 4-0 win, which I think might be something that puts Bournemouth towards the bottom and West Ham further out of the relegation zone, because there's a couple of good results for West Ham these past couple of weeks. But let's talk about another game that took place in the Premier League, and that is between Newcastle and Tottenham. Newcastle coming away with a 6-1 win against Tottenham, and I'm sure you boys are very, very happy about that.
I'd just like to mention one thing, right? Obviously, this game week, Arsenal qualified for Champions League football, officially, which is a great thing. First time we've qualified for the Champions League since 2016. And ironically, in both of those game weeks, 6 years, nearly 7 years apart, Newcastle have battered Spurs at St James's Park.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what it is, but 5-0 down in 20 minutes.
It's mental.
Like, it's just unacceptable. And I saw someone tweet about this morning that, you know, that like people were saying, oh, the fans need to be paid back. And a lot of people complain about that. But if there's ever a time where the players should refund tickets, it's travelling 6 hours to Newcastle. And it's not just the fact of the scoreline. It's the fact that it was 5-0 in 20 minutes. Like, what are you... that's pathetic.
Away fans were leaving the stadium.
Who can blame them? Who can blame them?
Oh, obviously.
For me, there is a scoreline on which I leave. If we are 3-0 down with about half an hour to go and we're playing god-awful... I've done that once. I've left early.
It's not part of my, like, I don't like doing that. I don't like leaving early regardless of the scoreline. But
Sometimes.
in Newcastle away, you're 5-0 down, fair enough.
And you've got that view.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
You're just like...
Can we talk about Lloris? I think it was a pathetic performance.
yeah.
Like,
It was taken off at half time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Not injured.
Just because of the performance.
I know, yeah.
Wow, that is actually embarrassing
Yeah.
for him. Like a
He
World
has-
Cup winner.
Is his contract out in the summer?
I think it's
I have no
it's
idea.
coming towards the end. They need someone else.
No, it's not getting renewed.
But
No.
just dreadful.
It's just, I mean, what else you talk about? You talk about the fact that they subbed on Sanchez at what, like 3 or 4 to change to a 5. That didn't help it. It says a lot when you're losing and you're changed to a more defensive formation, not to win the game, but just to stop the rot, and it didn't help. And
to think Stellini came at my man Roberto De Zerbi the other week, and just look at him now. It's just
I don't really think Stellini had anything to do with that. He was like the only person on the Tottenham bench who wasn't really part of it.
He was calling him out in the press conference before.
I mean, okay.
Well,
but I mean,
this
on the
morning
pitch.
it's come out that they're considering his future, which is insane.
Considering sacking an interim coach with 6 games to go, like, it's just funny. Like, they're not getting top 4.
Are they going to sack him, or are they just going to go, well, we found our permanent one now?
They haven't. There's no way they're going
Let's
to.
be honest.
I mean,
Let's be real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do think it's just, you look at the fixtures they've got left. They've got United next at home. They don't have a hope in hell at the moment. I'm sorry. If you don't win, it's embarrassing on you. I mean, you'll still, even if you lose, I still think you'll get top 4 because Tottenham are just not playing well.
We're talking about Tottenham here, but Newcastle really strengthening their top 4 push and their top 4 hopes. They're in 3rd at the moment. Just unbelievable performance from them. Slowed down in the second half, but they could afford that. So
there's a lot to like about Newcastle. There's a lot of players. I mean, like the comeback story, Joe Linton, like seeing Isaac doing well, and just I mean, Jacob Murphy, what a game as well.
Yeah.
That smile.
Great assist by Joe Willock as well for first as that goal.
That was an unreal assist as well. I like the new haircut as well for Joe Willock. It's looking good. I'm happy for him. But yeah, like I don't know. For me, Newcastle have always been a team that like it's quite like sad or annoying when they're not they get relegated to the Championship and they're not doing well.
Yeah.
I don't know why I have that feeling, but I just want to see them like push up
It's
because
the
they've
sa-
been
it's
calling
the-
out for it for years.
It's the same with like Aston Villa. I remember when Villa went down, I was just like, this is a club which should be in the Premier League and should be in top 10. And with Newcastle, it's good to see them back up there. Yes, they've got there through dubious means, but
they're there.
it's good to see them competing. And I think they've got top 4, pretty much. They're level on points with United. Obviously, United have a game in hand, but with the form they're racking up, and with the way teams have to catch up, like the only team with enough momentum to catch them, I think, is Brighton. And I think they'll just miss out. I think Brighton will just miss out. But Brighton, they'll take Europa League. Obviously. So,
And they're going for Europa League as well. And just coming back to that point, right, about how you have that feeling for teams and you're a little bit sad when they're not doing that well, regardless if they're your team. I don't really have that with Everton. I just want them to go down.
Yeah, Everton, I just look at them and I go, it'd be so... I just look at them and go, how funny, right, would it be?
Just get out of our league.
If they've got this brand new stadium. It's like when West Ham built the London Stadium, and in their first season in it, they were like hovering over relegation at Christmas, and it was like, would be really funny, wouldn't it? But I don't know, with all of this, Newcastle, they're just a phenomenal side.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, there's one game that we need to talk about, which is going to lead into our discussion for today's episode. We're going to be talking about Arsenal today because Arsenal drew 3-3 with Southampton on Friday, was it?
Friday.
And it's another poor result for Arsenal in their title race. I know teams coming back from two behind against Arsenal. They were 2 behind here. I know they came back in this game, but it's still a poor result. And with Man City on the horizon in the next couple of days, the question on our minds for today's discussion is, will Arsenal bottle it?
I think it's already happened.
Yeah. And have we bottled it?
I think...
Have we bottled the league?
The thing is, we've never been... I've seen so many quotes on Twitter going, we were 12 points clear or something. I've gone, what? We were never mathematically more than 5 points clear, ever, because of the amount of games in hand City have had.
Clear, no?
1 point difference, you know what I mean? But it was never more than a 2-game bounce. Like, it was never more than 2 games. It was always... The most it was ever was if you drop points in 2 games, they're back. They'll level it up. And obviously, I thought we bottled it in February when we lost to City. We dropped points 3 games in a row, lost to City, and then they dropped points and we were back ahead. And then we won our game in hand, and we had a 5-point gap at that point, and we've kept that 5-point gap the entire time. And now we're here with if they win every game in the City they've got left, they win the title. It's a fact. And now we know we have to win at City. And the thing is, at the start of the season, I don't want to say this.
But I don't want you to say this.
I don't want to say it. At the start of the season, everyone wanted us to... no, a lot of people didn't expect us to finish top 4, which I find hilarious.
Right.
At the start of the season, I thought... I saw Arsenal as bankers for top 4, because I don't know who... No one saw Chelsea dropping. I saw it a mile off. But I expect Arsenal to get top 4, and if you told me a year ago we would have top 4 sealed, done, with 6 games to go, I'd bite your hand off. And not only that, but we would be pretty much nearly guaranteed to finish in the top 2. I'd bite your hand off. But it's just the way it's happening, and there's one nagging feeling in my brain, and it's why I'm wearing this Arsenal shirt, this specific Arsenal shirt. This is the 1989 shirt, and in that season, we had George Graham as manager, a young manager, ex-Arsenal player, ex-Arsenal midfielder, managing the club with a young team, not expected to do much, out of nowhere, challenging for the first title in 18 years. Does it ring any bells? We bottled the title. We drew to Derby and Wimbledon or something like that. And the only way we could win the league was to win at Anfield. And we did it. And now, we have a simple mission.
Not just win at Anfield. Win at Anfield
2
by 2 goals.
I know, but now we've got a very similar mission. We know we cannot really win the league if we don't win at the Etihad. And, I mean, if we do that, if we actually win on Wednesday,
that's it.
I might lose my nut. Like,
I want to say, right, yeah, like, at the end of the day, if we aren't good enough to win this Premier League, we're not good enough to win this Premier League. We're not going to say, like, oh, no, I don't want any excuses. I don't want the things that happened at Brentford. I don't want the VAR stuff. At the end of the day, let me talk, man. Let me talk. We need to be able to beat teams like West Ham away and Southampton at home. That is just a fact, all right? And if we can't do that, we're not good enough to win the league. However, in the last 10 years, I would argue, even better than the 15-16 season. If there was ever a team to go to this Etihad Stadium and win, I think it's this one. Because what we have shown this season is a comeback mentality. Yes, we bottled it against Southampton, but we were down by 2 goals twice, and we came out to 3-3. We nearly won the game. Right?
We had 8 minutes to win it, and
Exactly.
I think we should have won
If
it.
Thomas Partey was
If Thomas Partey decided to just pass to Jesus, we might have actually won the game. But
no. Trossard can shoot all he likes. He hits the
Trossard,
bar.
I love
He
that.
comes close.
Honestly, he's my favourite player at the moment. But yeah,
Have we bottled the league?
it's never been like.
mean-
Here's the thing: when you look at
No,
the thing is, we've been top of the league for the majority of the season, but it's not like City have ever. City have been, like, the gap has been the same the entire season. We've had to win at that rate constantly, and whenever we've dropped points, they've caught us, and then we've had to rely on them dropping a point, and then the gap's gone back, and it's been neck and neck. It's never been like 12 points or 10 points or anything. And there's been so many games in hand. You know, I've been running my calculator the entire season, going, okay, so if we win this game, we need to win the City. If they win all their games in hand, they're like 2 points behind us. So it's.
For me, the argument I thought you were going to say, and the argument I thought, like, I just hate this argument that I hear on Twitter and stuff from Arsenal fans is, oh, well, we were never expected to win the league. But when you're in the position that
when you're in a
in,
position, yeah,
you should be expected to win the league.
The thing is, even though we're where we are, we're facing, and I don't like saying this, but we're facing one of the best teams to face.
Yeah, of course.
Like, Man City have changed the standard. If we are playing with this exact team performing at this level 10 years ago, we'd probably walk the league. You look at the points tallies and the way that it's like, it used to be irregular. It used to be like 80, 85 maybe 90 the odd season. And now they've pushed it to a point where Liverpool last season got 92 and didn't win it. Mm-hmm. And I think this season it will be a little bit lower. I think City might only crack 90 and we might only crack like 88. But the thing is, it's still like, they're pushing teams to a point. But one thing which I want to talk about is the fact that people keep talking about this Arsenal side like it's over. Like, if we don't win it this year, we never will. Mm-hmm. And I just think, we're not Leicester, right? No. We aren't just plucky guys who will go down next year. We're a young team which is progressing at a consistent rate. We finished 8th, then 5th. Now we're probably going to finish 2nd, maybe 1st if a miracle happens. But we've got one of the youngest teams in the league. We've got the youngest manager in the league. It's an upward trajectory. That's the way it's going.
And regardless of what happens this season, the work behind the scenes is going to stay the same. We're still going to have that same method that has got us here in the first place. We're still going to have things in place that are going to progress the club forward. So, and someone put it to me earlier that I made quite a good point. Look at Liverpool for all those years. They were at the bottom. They were at a pit. Yeah. Mm. They took a couple of years to rebuild, and they gradually built to the point where they were challenging City, didn't quite win it, and they went again and they won the league.
I mean, I remember when people found it funny when they cracked 98 and didn't win the league, and people thought they're never going to win the league now. The season after that, they came back better than ever and demolished it, and they should have cracked 100 points that season. But
you look at next season, though, I feel as though there's going to be more challenges.
I'll be honest, I don't think there's going to be that many.
Honestly, at least 3 or 4.
I don't think Chelsea are challenging. I don't think Liverpool are challenging. Tottenham, I don't even know if they're getting top 5. I think Newcastle, I don't think Newcastle should quite challenge. I think they'll get wins against the big 6, but I think with Europe, I don't think they can make enough signings. Like, it'd be ridiculous if they made like 10 signings. They will finish in the top 4, I think, next season. I think they're like, with the backing and everything, they will. I think United, I'm 60-40 whether you challenge, genuinely. And it all depends on the ownership change, recruitment, and your summer. But you might. With us, I expect nothing else but to go again and challenge again. That's what I expect. And City are City, like, what can you do?
If you get Champions League next year, would you sacrifice finishing in a higher spot, challenging for the title in the league next year, to go on a run in the Champions League?
No.
100%.
What on earth is that kind of mentality?
I would kill just for one. If you told me right now, you can guarantee we've got top 4 with 6 weeks to go, but we've probably bottled the title. Or you have no idea where we are in the league table, but we are leading in the Champions League semi-final.
I think you're just hooked on the argument that everyone has over Arsenal that we haven't won the Champions League, and you're so desperate for it that it makes you seem like a bit of a bad
Here's the
fan.
thing. Do you know what we don't know what it feels like, and I just want to know what it feels like.
Do you know what it feels like to win the league?
Exactly.
Well, no, but I was at least alive when it happened.
I've
been alive when we bottled the Champions League. You know.
I'm always, and this will make another tangent of discussion, right? So I won't go too far into it. But for me, Premier League more impressive than the Champions League. Every single day of the week. I don't know if you agree. I don't think
you said that to me.
Yeah.
Like you said that to me today.
Yeah, the Premier League
today.
means more to, Arsenal isn't, I'm not trying to be all Brexit and whatever, but Arsenal is an English club. We want to go for the English trophies first. We want to dominate the people that we play against every single week, not some people that are in another league and whatever. And we do want to win the Champions League, don't get me wrong, but the longevity of a Premier League season is way more impressive. I would rather challenge for the title for most of the season and then finish 5th than just have a lousy season and finish 4th.
I did want to ask you guys on your opinion on something because I saw it the other day, and that's Rio Ferdinand's comments about Manchester United and Arsenal. And I don't know if you've seen.
I know. I've heard what he says. It's rubbish.
And it's Man United have had a more successful season than Arsenal if we finish 3rd and win the Carabao Cup and you finish 2nd.
I don't think you're finishing 3rd though. That's the thing.
No, but
if
you finish 3rd and win the Carabao,
and we win the Carabao Cup, is it more successful than you finishing 2nd?
I think it's not a Man United mentality to count that.
Of course,
a Man United mentality shouldn't count that as a successful season because you don't want to fall into that. I'd follow Roy Keane's comments. Roy Keane is saying, it's embarrassing. You shouldn't anything other than 1st isn't good enough.
Yeah,
and that's the mentality.
Cool.
And the same with the League Cup final. It shouldn't be paraded too much. No. Otherwise, you'll get lost in it and you won't do as much.
Like I feel we did with the FA Cup back in COVID. Yeah, we got a little bit. We've won the FA Cup. We're fine now. No, we're still going to finish 8th the next season. Anyway, I think the fact that having that mentality from Rio Ferdinand, I think is like as much as he's a legend and everything, and he knows what he's on about most of the time. I think that is why you haven't had that much success since Sir Alex has left, because it's kind of like you're saying, well, if we finish 3rd with a trophy, it's better than challenging for the title. No way.
But you haven't actually challenged for the title.
And not made that progression as well.
If you challenge for the title, here's the thing, if you challenge for the title consistently, trophies will naturally fall into your place. If you go into a season targeting cups, they might not necessarily. In
my opinion, he is wrong in what he's saying, but I think the comparison is what is wrong with that. To say Manchester United have had an unsuccessful season is incorrect. But to compare it to
Arsenal,
other teams, not even just Arsenal. If we were like, we've had a more successful season than Chelsea, I mean, it's obviously true. Yeah, that's true. But like, you don't want to. I don't like the comparison aspect of it.
I mean, if we were to compare, Arsenal have had a better season.
I still don't want to listen to
you. What?
50-50.
Actually,
I'll let you talk.
Second.
Maybe 60-40.
Hang on a minute. You're doing what Rio Ferdinand has just said. You've just disagreed with him and then said what he said.
No. But if you said that overall, I think Manchester United have had a successful season.
Better than Arsenal?
What do you think is more important, winning the League Cup or challenging for the league title? If I could offer you one guarantee next season, challenge for the league title or win the League Cup, I know exactly which one you're taking.
But if you look at the seasons as a whole, if you look at seasons as a whole in all competitions, right? Manchester United, let's say, hypothetically, 3rd in the league, you finish 2nd in the league. I'll give you that. You challenge for the title, fair play. We won the League Cup, win the FA Cup final, we could win the FA Cup as well, win the FA Cup final. Right. We got further than you in the Europa League.
What does that mean?
Further than the Europa League means nothing.
What does Carabao Cup mean? And what does an FA Cup mean?
You qualified for the Conference League.
Trust me, it means nothing. We've done that for the last 5-6 years. We've won FA Cups. It means nothing.
To say it means nothing.
Well, compared to league progress, which is what is really important, which means nothing.
What I'm saying is, I don't like the comparison.
What year did you finish last season? What place did you finish last season?
6th?
Right, okay.
Maybe even lower.
Like you've plateaued between like 6th and 4th and 6th and 4th for years.
I just think, my opinion is, I don't like the comparison. But I think Manchester United have had a successful season. That's what I'm saying.
Stick your that on the line, right? And say...
Put your trophies on the table.
Put your medals on the table. Exactly. And say, who do you think's had a better season? Manchester United or Arsenal? There's nothing wrong with the comparison. It's a comparison.
Yeah, but there is something wrong with the comparison,
There isn't. Who's had a better season?
It's like comparing you to Man City this season, or comparing you to, who's 5th. It's like comparing you to Newcastle this season.
We've had a better season than Newcastle.
You know what I mean? It's like, exactly.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with saying it. But look, anyway, moving on from that, I do think, I don't need to say what I'm going to say, but I think he made some other comments, Ferdinand. I just want to say he's a fool, because he made some comments regarding Mikel Arteta, and he said, oh, Real Madrid need a new manager in the summer. Oh, why should he stay at Arsenal? And I just want to say, out of all of the, I don't know how many ex-United pundits know that much about football, but it makes me think Fergie's a better manager than ever, because most of his ex-players know little about football. Because Mikel Arteta is a Barcelona academy product from the Basque country. He would not step foot in Madrid if he wasn't the away side. And at the same time, when you've started a project and you've challenged for the title, I don't think there's many managers who would go, all right, see you later. Madrid are calling. Unless if they have no emotional connection to that club whatsoever. Like Poch, if he was in that situation, got called by Real Madrid, which I'm pretty sure he did, would have stayed at Tottenham.
To end the section off, I do want to do a bit of a preview to the City game on Wednesday, because it is a massive game, and realistically, whoever wins that game will probably go on and win the title. But mathematically, it is possible for the team to win that game to not win the title, obviously. But
no.
It's not going to happen. So I want to know how you guys are both feeling ahead of the game. Like, is it nerves?
I'm not nervous anymore, because it's almost like we've got nothing to lose, because we've lost it already.
Yeah.
You know, we just have to go into that game.
No, we haven't.
And
They've got one more game left to prove ourselves. We haven't lost it.
No, but my point is, they're in the ascendancy now. They are mathematically, if they win every game, they will win the league.
Yeah, but
it's now under that. It's now, if they win their games in hand, they're above us.
You go into that game with that mentality of
but
it's already gone.
No, not like that. But if we go into the mentality of we go into this game, we win this, we win the title, and we need players to be on sharp form. We need players to finish. We need Jesus to be on top form. We need Zinchenko to play a lot better than he did on Friday. We need Holding to not be in the squad.
I think we can do it.
I don't know.
I think we can do it.
I don't. If we play the exact same 11 that we played against Southampton, we won't win.
Would you change?
Rob Holding.
Is that for who?
But can we afford to?
I would play Rob Holding for Jorginho, and I would play Partey at right back. He played right back for half the time as at Atletico. I would do that.
Is that not a risk?
I think it's a risk playing Holding against Haaland.
No,
it's a risk playing anyone.
I back Holding. I back Holding. I want him in.
I will not back Holding. I'm not backing Holding.
No.
He is partially playing for since he's come in. Before Holding came in, we were second in the league in XG over that patch of games. It's in the 5 games since he's come in, we are 19th in the league on XG. We're attacking worse. We're defending worse. We're covering set pieces worse. Every single stat has fallen since he came into the team, and he is the one change.
Okay.
You can't play against City like that.
I get it, and if I could have Saliba in there, of course I'd choose to.
Yeah, sadly, his back's broken.
I don't think we can. However, end of the day, who's the better football club? Let's turn up to the Etihad. Let's show these fans that can't even fill Wembley for an FA Cup semi-final what an actual football club is. Let's go to them, take the game to them, let's win the title. Let's go for it.
Confident. The comparison between you two is immense right now.
I want us to win. I'm dying for us to win. All logic says Man City sweep the floor of us. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, but logic does, but I don't think the Premier League is a league that is decided on logic, is it? Let's be honest.
Just to end off, shall we get a score prediction?
2-1 Arsenal. 93rd minute, Jesus.
Late winner.
The things I'd kill for that.
And he doesn't run to like Adebayor did run to the Arsenal fans. He runs around the whole Etihad just to scream at them.
Me? Okay. My heart says 1-0 Arsenal, 91st minute, just nick a goal, whatever. My brain says 3-1 City.
What are you going for, though?
Whatever you like.
No.
Pick one.
What are you going for? What do you think the score is going to be in the game?
3-1 City.
I'm going to go for 2-2.
Haaland probably scores a hat-trick.
That's so depressing, 3-1 City.
I'm going 2-2. And probably a late equaliser from you.
I'd kill for that.
Title's still on if we do that, I'm not going to lie.
Exactly.
Well, no, because we need them to drop points.
So
I need Brentford to do. Brentford and Brighton, you have a job to do. Their final 2 games of the season are Brighton away and Brentford away. I genuinely, you little plucky little boys,
Come
you
on,
know.
Seagulls. Come on, Seagulls.
So it's time for our debate, but first it's Jordan's Fact of the Week. We've had a little while without Jordan's Fact of the Week, but Jordan's Fact of the Week is back yet again this week, and let's just get straight into it. A player was once kicked out of their football club for scoring a winning goal. Did you know this?
But who is it?
Hold on.
Don't spoil it. Who is it?
So, I'm going to butcher this name. I'm going to be like Prime You.
Oh.
An Zhang Huang was sacked by his club, which is Perugia FC in Italy, after he scored the winning goal for Korea to knock Italy out of the 2002 World Cup. It was with 2 minutes to go. They score the winner. He scores the winner, and he gets told he can never step foot back in the city.
It's just
Respect.
like
Respect.
so he's
respect.
shown on the international stage he's a good footballer. I got rid of him.
I respect it. I'm not
Saliba scored a 90th minute winner to knock England out of the World
Did you
Cup.
get? Is this why you let Ronaldo go to Portugal? Is he not because of the wink against Rooney?
I respect the nationalism. Yeah, fair enough.
Well, it's a very nationalist country, but do you know what I thought it was? It was that thing which always gets played back on like Twitter and stuff of a guy on loan not relegating his actual parent club, and then the entire like team chases him as he like celebrates.
But also, this guy could have got 2 goals in the game because he took a penalty which was saved by Buffon as well. So he could have got 2 in that game. But he did score the winner to knock Italy out, and therefore was sacked from his club. And that's Jordan's Fact of the Week.
Hey you!
Yeah?
Yes, you!
How did you get in my house?
Do you like YouTube?
Yeah?
Sometimes find it a bit dull?
No, I love YouTube.
Then you should subscribe to the Football in Question YouTube channel.
Why?
They've got podcast clips, original content, and also they have your family hostage.
What?
Like I said, subscribe now!
If you want to see your family again, subscribe now.
Mum? Right, let's move on to our debate now. This week, we're going for the top 3 most overrated players in the Premier League right now. We're not talking history here, we're talking current players. I don't know how you guys want to do this. Do we just say our 3 and then...
I like the format of going, who have you got in third, who have you got second, who have you got first? Do you
I haven't
like
really
that?
got
I
an
don't really
order,
have an order.
but
I think we just
can
say.
figure it out.
I think. Should we just say 3? Yeah. I'm just going to say my 3, and I'm going to leave my really controversial one last. So first of all, I'm going to say David De Gea. I think he's one of the most overrated players in the country. I think he's been overrated for a while now. He is living off 2017 like there is nothing. And then second, I'm going to say Christian Romero. How this man has plaudits, I have no idea. The man got, like people say, well, he's won the World Cup. I'm like, yeah. Most people would if they had Lionel Messi in their team. You know, like the 2014 side that reached the final was pretty much god awful. You know, that's the way it is. And then third, okay, I'm really worried.
Just say it.
Reece James. I think Reece James is massively overrated for the way he's been this season. I think defensively he's been poor this season. People are getting in behind him very easy, and I think he's showing he's not the player we thought he was.
People do sing his praises a lot, but I have also heard you sing his praises as well.
Yeah.
That's the point. That's the point. I'm looking at it and going, actually, I haven't sung his praises since about like September,
It's a good point.
that's my point.
That's
why he's overrated. Because I haven't realised how bad he is.
No, fair enough.
Well, he's
What
not
are you going
awful,
for?
but like he's not as good as we think.
Who are your 3?
A couple of Chelsea players.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Does Edouard Mendy still play for Chelsea?
Yeah.
Right, Edouard Mendy. I just think, and I'm looking back, I know it's current, but I think with current players you've also got to look at how they've been perceived whilst they've been in the Premier League. Mendy, when he won that Champions League, I just think he was bang average. He was just all right, and Chelsea did well, they got a bit lucky, and yeah, I just don't, and it's shown that he's been overrated when he just fell off. Second, Ben Chilwell, I just don't think, signed for a lot of money from Leicester.
I don't. I think that's a bad one.
Fair enough. Third, Eric Dyer. Not third place, but my third one is Eric Dyer. I just don't.
Okay.
I don't think Eric Dyer's rated.
No, he is. No, he is.
But yeah,
Too much. Even a little bit, way too much.
I'll be honest, I've watched a lot of coverage of Tottenham fans talking about the game yesterday, and a lot of them said, let's get rid of Eric Dyer. So I don't understand how he's rated.
Then why is he still in the team? And why does he get picked for England?
Because they're managed poorly.
Get him out.
So Southgate and Stellini rate him.
Exactly.
Right.
And he's overrated.
I'll go for my 3. In third, I've got a player that Isaac actually really liked. I've gone for James Ward-Prowse.
I can
Free
see
kick
it.
merchant.
You picked him for our England
And left-
squad for Euros, didn't you, back in the day?
way back when. He's overrated. He's overrated. He's a free kick merchant. He scores a few free kicks a season and people love it. You know, overrated. In second, I've gone for Ederson. I think Ederson is just
Actually,
he can pass the ball.
Oh, behave.
He can pass the ball, but he's not that. He's not as,
Shot stopping.
to hold him as one of the top goalkeepers in the league. I think is ridiculous. And finally, I've gone for Kai Havertz. I think Kai Havertz is not that great either.
I don't think he's rated. That's
Yeah, I
the
don't think
issue.
he's rated.
I don't think he's
Went
rated.
for Eric Dyer.
Yeah, but I think he's rated too much.
I don't think neither of them are really rated.
So that's my three. Let's have a discussion.
I think there's two outrageous selections from both of you. Right, first of all, David De Gea.
If you think David De Gea is good, you don't. Honestly, you have no ball knowledge.
I do think over the span of his Premier League career, which is what we're looking at. Yeah, we're not just
No,
looking at
I'm
how he
thinking
performed
I'm
last
thinking
week.
right.
Yeah, it's
I'm thinking-
overrated in general. It's not how they performed last week, Isaac. All right.
No, it's
how
this
they've been
season.
rated.
He is currently the way people talk about him. They do not talk about him. His opinion is the opinion around David De Gea is absolutely carried by a 3-year stint, and people talk about him
3
like
years?
he's still 2015 to 2018.
I mean, I think it went on a little bit longer than that.
Other than at the start of his first season, David De Gea has been world class.
How many player of the seasons has he won as well at Man United?
Huh?
How many player of the seasons has he won? Yeah.
So many.
Like, come on, the man has literally like
Right
he's
now-
carried
carried
Manchester
them.
United.
There is a
over
point
the
where an
years.
athlete is going to break at some point. You
Yeah.
can't. There's a lot of pressure on that man. I think he's had a phenomenal career, and at one point he was the best goalkeeper in the world, hands down.
I think right now he's costing Man United more points than he's gaining them.
Yeah, but then is that also put down to the fact that you know, like the team hasn't been playing well for the last couple of years, or as well as the standards as they should be?
Would you think it's the team's fault that he took a bad touch and gave it to Ed Nedry?
Ramsdale's made efforts as well, made mistakes as well recently.
No, but my
Would you
point
put
is,
that down?
it's not the only one. It's something which we're seeing more and more of.
I think
the amount of times I see him kick the ball out of play because
Yeah,
he's
I think-
unable to pass it.
I think with David De Gea, I love David De Gea. I think your opinion on David De Gea is just because he can't pass the ball and it doesn't. He doesn't complete 100% of his passes.
No, it's not 100%. You
like
don't.
him.
A goalkeeper shouldn't be expected to complete 100. It's the fact that the game has surpassed him and United carry on with him as if it's okay. And I think you putting Ederson is as fair as putting David De Gea in because they are literally the opposite goalkeeper.
Yeah,
in my
that's
opinion.
your
They are
outrageous shout.
They are reverse goalkeepers. One literally could play in midfield, but his shot stopping is near enough questionable. The other one. He saves with his feet a lot, you know, he's all quick cat-like reflexes. His near post is open, you know, as, you know, my front door in the morning when I'm leaving. And he can't pass, you know, to anyone near enough.
I think Ederson is just such an easy shout in this debate. I think it's what people have been saying for years, and
What,
they've
about
just
Ederson?
and they've just ignored.
Let me
the
just
fact
tell you,
everyone's overrated.
watch the semi-final against Tottenham and think to yourself, should either of Sons be saved by a competent top-level goalkeeper? And the answer is no.
One
The
game.
season
This is
after-
one
my
game.
opinion. This is my opinion. People hold Ederson as up there as one of the top goalkeepers in the league.
He is.
A lot of people argue he is the best goalkeeper in the league.
No, who says that?
A lot of people argue that him and Alisson have always been in this battle. Who's the best in the league?
To me,
Who's the
Since
best
they
in
were
the
fighting
league?
for the title, that makes
Alisson
sense.
is
Yes, no, but
astronomically clear. than Ederson.
Alisson is easily the best keeper in the league.
Ramsdale.
Easily.
When Ramsdale went on that, was it the Fellas podcast? He was like saying, you know, who he looks up to as goalkeepers, who he really rates. He said Ederson and Alisson. All right, fair enough, Alisson, but he says Ederson, right? So he's got backing from another goalkeeper. Also, we're just ignoring the fact that Pep Guardiola, right? Yeah, probably, you know, been the best manager in the world for the last 10, 15 years. Okay, right? This man has chosen a goalkeeper to be his man in goal for him to represent his club whilst he's been challenging for titles, whilst he's been challenging for Champions Leagues. If he was overrated, if he was rubbish, do you think he'd get anyone?
No, here's
You
the
can say
thing.
the same thing about David De Gea because the managers that come in and go, you know what, I'm going to stick with David De Gea. You know, it's
Here's
the
the
same.
thing. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
With Man City, they are a team which know they will not face many shots because they have the majority of the ball. So when it comes to goalkeeping, they can afford to have someone where having the ball at feet and being successful with the ball at feet, they know that he will create more chances for them. as a goalkeeper, and that's what they focus on. So as a goalkeeper for their system, he works. But as a goalkeeper from the neutral view, he's not what we need. Right,
let's start the season, Man City. Right, who's going to be our goalkeeper? Well, hang on a minute, mate. Don't worry about that. We're too good, all right? So we don't actually need a good goalkeeper. We can face as many shots. They can,
That's not my point. They don't face shots.
It is literally your point. No one's going to shoot us. Why do we need someone good in goal? Just slap Edison in for the next year again. Yeah,
it's not that.
That's literally what you've just said.
It's not. Not just anyone.
You have just said that. But
I'm crediting him. I'm crediting him. He is the best keeper in the league with the ball at his feet, and I will credit him with that. He can.
The best keeper in the league with the ball with his feet is the most overrated. One of the most overrated Premier League players.
Yes, because we ignore. Yes, because we completely ignore the fact that his positioning at times for shots is not quality, and the fact that he doesn't save shots well enough.
I'll tell you exactly what Edison reminds me of. He reminds me of an outfield player that the goalkeeper's just been sent off, so they got to throw someone in net.
I think that's rude.
You might as well have just said that with what you just said with all your fancy words, right? It doesn't make it any better.
I think Edison,
just because you can't understand them.
Edison is incredibly overrated. Incredibly overrated.
I think there's more overrated goalkeepers in the league.
Well, you think Eric Dyer is overrated? He's not rated.
This is we've had a go at one of yours. You've had a go at one of mine. Ben Chilwell.
Ben Chilwell is
Ben Chilwell.
Ben Chilwell, I think, when everyone's fit for England, is England's best left back.
100. Yeah, definitely up there. Him and Luke Shaw are.
Luke Shaw is a good player. Ben Chilwell is a good player. These are good players. You know, Ben Chilwell, if he was fit, would have. I don't know if you. I think he does start for England. You love Luke Shaw, but like Ben Shaw is a quality player. Yes, he costs 50 mil. 50 mil is a drop in the water nowadays.
And yeah, to be honest, you could say that about anyone.
If you want to talk money, we could talk for ages right now. Like,
yeah, fair enough. I think Ben Chilwell was a bad pick for me. I actually think, yeah, fair enough. He's a decent player. Shouldn't pick.
That was quick.
Reece James.
Look, I'll be honest.
Is horrendous.
I'm lacking.
That's the worst pick.
I don't think it is, because I think genuinely what is an overrated player? An overrated player is someone who we are holding up to a standard, but while we've not been looking, they've actually maybe dropped a bit, and we are still holding them to that original standard, which is David De Gea, which is Reece James. Reece James, we'll talk about him like he's still what he was performing like when they won the Champions League, like he was last season. Last season he was unstoppable. This season, since he's come back from injury, he's not been helping that Chelsea side at all. You know, he's not impacting them. He was one of their key creators, even one of their key goal scorers last season. And this season, it's not the same. It's not the same at all.
It's not the same, but it's not the same for any player at Chelsea. And Reece James is still holding up a level at Chelsea where he is still one of the best players at Chelsea.
It's not hard.
Exactly.
Their top assist has 2 assists.
For years now, we have been saying that Reece James has this ability where Trent can go forward but can't go back. Wan-Bissaka can go back but can't go forward. Reece James is that. Reece James.
And that's what I'm arguing. I'm arguing he's not been good going back. They've had one of the leakiest defences in the league.
I think for this,
and they can't score goals. So he's struggling on both fronts.
Your thoughts on this is that you're thinking for Reece James, he's not been good this season. But no one at Chelsea's been good. We're not going to go for 3 Chelsea players here, surely.
No, but my point, but because he has been held up to a standard.
You can say the same. You can say the same thing for Ben Chilwell. In all fairness,
I think Chilwell has
both have been held up to a standard.
I think Ben Chilwell.
Both have been held up to the standard that they've not matched this season.
Yeah, no.
I think Reece James is possibly the worst pick out of any of the picks we've had.
Well, look, I was struggling here, and I didn't. I
was also struggling. I think
Eric Dyer and Kai Havertz are a bit.
Let me explain Eric Dyer. No, I think Kai Havertz.
No, because when was Kai Havertz rated?
Okay. Which one do you want me to pick out first? Eric
Dyer. Go Dyer. Let's get Dyer.
Eric Dyer. Okay, right. I think maybe a lot of people call him rubbish. I think certainly us 3 have always called Eric Dyer rubbish. Yeah. Okay, right. We've always got annoyed when he's got in the England squads and things like that. But that is my thought process behind this. He is still picked for the England team. He's still consistently picked for Tottenham. I'm saying he's rated because he's consistently picked for his side. Right? Okay.
Okay.
Now maybe that unpicks my argument for David De Gea. Anyway, so but I'm saying they obviously rate this guy. I just don't see it. I despise it when he's in the England squad. I just think overrated.
To me, the whole point of overrated is the way fans talk about them, and the way the media perceive them.
No.
That's the idea of overrated.
Yeah,
if everyone says, "Do you think Maguire's overrated?" No, I think because everyone says he's bad.
No,
and he's having to answer press conference questions like, "Do you think you're a bad defender?" Like, then he's not overrated. He's rated, all right. We all know how bad he is, and same with Dyer. We all talk about him in the same way. Tottenham fans don't rate him. Who does then? No, everyone talks about them like that.
I think they did at one point. Also, another name I'd like to
in the golden ages, and like when when they thought they'd win stuff. Yeah, life was great in 2017, wasn't it? Like, I don't think he's a good defender, and I think with Kai Havertz, maybe.
No, Kai Havertz was rated at one point. A very good player in the Bundesliga. All right,
I don't.
Very good in the Bundesliga, and when he came into Chelsea, he was
at Chelsea.
Chelsea uphold him,
won a Champions League
in particular.
Won Champions League.
I still think,
Scored the winning goal of a Champions League.
Unlike Eric, one of your arguments with Eric Dyer was that the fans don't even rate him. Chelsea fans really rate Kai Havertz.
Not right now.
Yeah, but Chelsea are crap.
I think they say that they do say that Kai Havertz is their best centre forward option.
Yeah,
and he's not even a centre forward.
He is definitely well rated by people to the point where you can definitely consider him to be an overrated player.
I think Kai Havertz is a classic example of people not knowing too much about this player from another league, him coming to England and not being absolutely out of this world, outstanding. But he's still been all right.
Bundesliga tax, but like.
So you're saying he's overrated, but then you're defending him and saying he's good, so he's not overrated then?
When did I say he's overrated?
You just said, well, people think he's not that good from. You just said he's been quite good there.
Yeah, but the English fans that don't watch the Bundesliga don't have really any idea what he did at Bayer Leverkusen, and they just see this player come in and he's not like blowing people away like I don't know Ronaldo did or
the thing is,
a big player they call him overrated.
I disagree with you. I don't think he's not. He's not blowing people away. I think he's been shocking. Not once have I thought he is a great player. I think Chelsea as a side have gone backwards since he stepped into their front line. I don't. If I see him starting up front against my side, I'm not threatened by them. I'd argue. I know this sounds extremely controversial, but I am more scared of Timo Werner than Kai Havertz.
I often think that going backwards is winning a Champions League. So I completely agree with you, Isaac.
No, because he's not responsible for that.
He scored the goal to win the Champions League.
Timo Werner's run made that goal.
He still scored the goal.
Timo Werner's movement made that goal.
He still scored the goal. He put the ball into the net.
Do you know who conceded it? Edison, and he parried it back to him.
Right, I think this is going to be very tricky. No.
That's exactly right.
There's not even...
and that just...
just laps back around.
That is brilliant.
There's not even... That is brilliant.
I think and do you know whose side it came from? Do you know what side of the pitch it came from? The left-hand side, which had Ben Chilwell involved.
All right, fine, you two can agree.
Oh,
I don't think we've all agreed.
No, but we also need to talk about some other players. I like Christian Romero as a shout.
Yeah, I think Christian Romero is the only one which I've got, which is nailed on. Look, we haven't discussed it because we all know. The thing is, Tottenham are bad, but they still rate him. Yeah. And I don't think, if you can't play in a back four, I don't rate you as a defender.
He has the World Cup thing this season as well.
Yeah,
he's won the World Cup.
I'm like, here. Do many people rate Mertesacker?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I rate him, but like people outside of Arsenal fans think because he's slow on FIFA, he's bad. He won the World Cup. But do you know who also won the World Cup? Shkodran Mustafi won the World Cup. Is he a good defender?
Well,
Christ, no. Is he better than Van Dijk because he's won the World Cup? No, it means nothing.
I do think Romero is in there. Your other pick was Mendy.
Yeah, I think
Mendy, he's won the UEFA Goalkeeper of the Year.
I think it's
overrated. Such an overrated.
I think it's very similar to Edison in the fact that people considered him at one point to be, in fact, a bit like De Gea as well.
I think Edison's done
consider him to be the best in the league.
Edison's done it consistently since like 2018. Mendy came in for one season, everyone was like, "Oh my god, this guy's so good," and then he just was out of the team and kept us back in. I think
that is a point that needs to be mentioned.
Exactly.
The fact that Kepa came back in.
Exactly, Kepa came back
over
in.
him.
Sorry, this guy is the best goalkeeper in the world according to UEFA, but Kepa, who was supposedly finished as a goalkeeper, came back in and replaced him and is now doing better than him.
Yeah, I don't mind Mendy as a shout, to be fair. Yeah. I do think he is overrated.
I genuinely think he is.
So we're going Romero and Mendy.
In the top three, I don't know if we've decided who's...
I know.
Right, okay.
My last player was James Ward-Prowse.
I think, okay, I'm going to say this. Dyer's not in. I'm going to say Havertz isn't in.
I don't think James Ward-Prowse is in. I don't want to see him in there.
No, I don't think people...
Exactly.
There's no one... Look, I like James Ward-Prowse because it's like a wild card, but no one speaks about him like he's amazing. He's not rumoured to sign for any big club, but we do speak about him as he's probably the best free kick taker in the league. Yeah. And I think that's true.
This is how I had this thought process with James Ward-Prowse. James Ward-Prowse, best player at Southampton?
Probably, yeah.
Definitely up there.
Yes.
Doing awful this season, for one. That's a lot of your argument is.
He still scored
recent.
a few free kicks.
And this is the thing. I think he's great at free kicks. Fantastic. But that's the only thing that shouts at me as him being a decent player.
I don't know.
And I think the only reason that we were sort of stuck on this, he should, and I will happily admit that I said that he should get in the England squad for the Euros. Yes, I did. But I think a large part of that is the fact that he can score free kicks and nothing else.
Yeah, if you didn't have
the idea was, we were all sitting here going, oh, well, Jack Grealish will run up towards the box, get fouled, and we'll just sub James Ward-Prowse on straight away so he can take the free kick. It doesn't matter. Like, he doesn't scream, he doesn't really create that a whole lot. I think literally he steps up for a free kick and puts it in the back of the net. He's great at free kicks, but that is it. That is it for James Ward-Prowse.
I still think, I don't think the whole idea of being overrated is you have to be rated to a certain degree, and I don't think he's rated beyond being a great free kick taker. And I think he is a great free kick taker.
I disagree.
No one, he's not, when people talk about the best playmakers in the league, we don't talk about him like he's beyond Maddison or anything.
We literally sat here and I just asked you, he's the best player at Southampton.
He is. No one has his ability at Southampton.
If he goes into like an Everton, would he be the best player?
No.
No.
If James Ward-Prowse never scored a free kick in his career, he'd be playing for like Bolton right
But
now.
here's the thing.
Exactly.
However,
I can't believe you cut me off on that.
but you can't look over the fact that he's he's 2 free kicks away from holding the record of most free kicks scored in the Premier League, which is held by David Beckham. I'm not saying he's better than David Beckham, but I'm saying scoring free kicks is hard.
Can I come back to my point of
Yes.
scoring a free kick isn't that impressive?
Of course you think that.
You put the ball on the ground, you put it still, everyone stands still.
How come Ronaldo, one of the best players in the world, has an awful record of consistent free kicks? If it's so easy,
I don't say it's easy. I just think it's not like
if
that
it's not
impressive.
easy, then surely you give him his credit for scoring so many.
Like you have to literally hold the ball everyone is still. Nothing's moving. I'm sorry. Right, what's harder? Crossing the road at a set of traffic lights or crossing the road or crossing a bypass? It's a bit harder to cross the bypass because things are moving. Things are in motion, yeah? At a traffic light, everything's still. You just have to walk.
Now,
that's my point.
Here's the thing. When you're playing in normal play, players aren't just focused on the one who's on the ball. They're focused on looking at their man. They're focused on man marking and everything. With a free kick, everyone is looking at you. You are the only one of the ball. Time is frozen. Everyone knows you're shooting it. The goalkeeper has time to prepare the wall. He has time to position himself right for the shot. He has time to position his wall to block the shot. Everything is made to stop you, just you, from scoring. In time, there's so many distractions, so many moving objects, you can, it's easier.
Look, I think we need to round it up, and I think rather than coming to a conclusion now, we should say that the people watching the videos, watching the podcast, listening to the podcast, should decide on their top 3 and pick the top 3. So let us know in the comment section down below. We'll put a poll or something on the Spotify as well.
Out of the 3 players.
Just let us know who's in your top 3. So, as per usual, we end the episode with a quiz. We didn't have a quiz last week though, so this is the first quiz in a little while, and it's the big guns, El Clasico of the podcast quiz. Let's just get on with it. It's just a normal standard football quiz.
General.
Didn't really think of a theme for this one, so we're going to need some buzzers.
Bang.
Ding.
Simple. Right. Question 1. As a manager, what is Erik ten Hag's win percentage at Wembley? Think about it.
Bang.
Yes.
No, I might pulls this up now. 66%.
Incorrect.
It's not 66.
66.6 recurring.
He would have allowed you that. He would have allowed you that.
Erik ten Hag's at Wembley win percentage.
If you win on penalties... If you win on penalties, does it count as a win?
I'm not going to answer that.
Oh, you're actually a bit of genius, Jordan. You're actually a bit of genius. He's not going to work it out.
Is it 50%?
Now, we're going to need to have a discussion about this because I didn't think about it as does penalties count?
Does the answer there?
You would say penalties counts.
Yeah,
as
if you win the match,
Well, here's the
won.
thing. If I think penalties counts, I would have said 100, and
Yeah,
that's why I've said
yeah.
50. Does
So-
your answer there say 50?
What a load of rubbish.
It doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't.
My answer here says 100%.
But you drew on the pitch.
Yeah, that I didn't think about.
Did you also include Ajax versus Tottenham?
Ajax versus Tottenham, they'd moved to their new ground.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Right, I
Right,
remembered
that-
they'd moved then.
You know what? I'm going to give you a point for that because I didn't think about in the 90s.
Yeah, that's right.
Technically,
that makes
they
sense.
didn't.
Technically,
they
it is
didn't
win. So, whereas I have put 100% here.
Those are the only
I
two.
think-
Are those
I
the only two games he's
No,
managed
hang
at
on a
Wembley?
minute. Please
Yeah.
clear this up for me.
No, I mean, he's not managed internationally, has he?
Please clear this up for me. You're giving him a point because he thinks not winning a game in full 90 isn't a win.
Here's the
Is that what you're
thing.
saying?
From
will
my,
walk
no,
out the
but
room.
no,
I will walk out the
but
room.
my point is, I'm not wrong because I went
Yes,
into
you
it
are.
knowing, well,
Yes, you are.
he's drawn. No, because I knew
Who won yesterday?
what two games.
Who won yesterday in the semi-final of the FA Cup? Who won?
Technically, on
No. Who won the match?
Actually,
There's no
the whole
technicalities.
point is knowledge. I knew he'd managed two games. I knew he'd won one this
no.
season, and he'd drawn one.
not
So I
knowledge.
knew it was 50 or
you
100.
can't-
No, because then me getting it right depends on how he's interpreted it,
Yeah.
not my knowledge, which is
You know
unfair.
what? You know
Which-
what?
and that is
because this is quite unfair. We're going to scrap the question. It's still
Two
nil.
Well, I think
right,
that's rubbish.
two right, two
Still
right.
0-0.
Look at him throwing his little toys out of pram.
You're one to talk about that one there, mate.
You know, you
Jesus.
can't have a go at me
There's
when you
still-
throw them
it's the
yourself.
first. It's the
Jesus.
first question.
Who won the match?
It's the first question, people. It's the first question. We're going to keep it at 0-0. Question 2. What is the name of the Serie A title?
The Scudetto. Oh, dang, the Scudetto.
Correct.
Can I say,
1-0.
I'm pretty sure that was in one of my quizzes like a month ago.
Was it? Oh, well.
Yeah, that's just cheating.
Either way.
Cheating for knowing about football, apparently.
It's getting a bit of a tense battle here.
Yeah.
It's,
Easily rounded.
it's on edge. Question 3. What is the name of Stoke City's stadium?
Bang.
Yes.
Liberty Stadium.
Incorrect.
That's
Is that somewhere else?
that's Swansea.
Oh,
Yeah. Isaac, it passes over to you.
Oh,
Ding!
no.
The Bet365 stadium.
Yeah.
Correct.
What was it called? The Britannia. That's what it was
Britannia.
called before.
That's what I was gonna.
That's
what I
where you
thought
wanted to
someone
foot.
would
You'd
say.
no.
Yeah.
To be fair, neither of them have been in the Prem a while. I'll let you off for that.
It doesn't make. I thought it was either maybe Sunderland, Swansea, Stoke. I didn't really know.
It's one of
They
them.
all got relegated at the same time.
It is 2-0. We're on to question 4. How many players in Gareth Southgate's first starting 11 as England manager went to the most recent World Cup?
Oh my god. His first team.
His first starting 11. I'm not including people
I
on the
remember
bench here,
around
or
when
people
we
that came
played.
off the bench.
Just the
Starting
starting
11.
Genuinely think Eric Dyer has gone the whole way, hasn't he? He just has.
Honestly, I don't think, did Eric Dyer, I'm thinking about the kit we wore at the time, and it was a
Yeah.
really crap Euro one. It was the Iceland kit. Sturridge is in there. Like, so it's
gonna be
way ago. Like, Lallana was getting call ups back then.
I've got to figure
Ding.
it
3.
out. Oh no, bang! I was going to say 3.
Correct. 3.
Is it, can I say,
Three
is it
is the
Pickford?
Wait.
No, can I guess? Oh.
Because I've got a bonus question.
Oh,
Can I answer the bonus question?
If he gets it wrong.
if I get it wrong.
So the bonus question is
Name the three.
the 3 players.
Okay. Sterling.
I'm not going to tell you whether
Sterling,
you're right or
I think, is one of
You're
them.
gonna need to
I don't know if
remember.
Pickford is one of them. I don't think he'd been, because it was so quick after the Euros, I don't think he was getting caps still. I think he may be, I think would Hart still been getting?
Can I just get an answer?
Okay, I'm going to say Sterling.
Okay.
I'm going to say Kane.
Okay.
I don't think Kane started, did he? No, crap.
Name your last one.
What was the recent squad? Dyer.
Incorrect.
Don't
Chelsea
tell
get a point.
how many of them are correct.
No,
Did
no.
you
wait.
say Kane, Sterling, Dyer?
I said Kane,
He's
Sterling, Dyer.
Kane, Sterling, Dyer.
You can't think of any other 3.
No, that was literally the 3 I was going to go for.
Yeah,
Hang on, I'm doing my new answer.
yeah,
now.
go. Well,
You,
I'm going to
Take it
go
from you.
Kane, Dyer, Pickford.
Incorrect.
I think Kane's wrong, isn't it?
Pickford definitely.
All of
started.
them that you named are wrong.
None of them started.
None of them started in that game.
started?
The answer: Kyle Walker,
Oh, we're so dumb.
Someone
John
knows.
Stones,
Oh, we're so dumb.
and I thought you would have got this one, Jordan Henderson.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I feel like an idiot now.
It remains 3-0.
Well, it's because I just forgot Henderson played for him. Carl Walker, I feel dumb though.
No, he was
that
in my
feels-
mind. I just thought, no.
But
It
Carl
stays
Walker's so
3-0.
because he's started for England for like the last 10 years.
There wasn't another right back at that time, was there?
There hasn't been another right back since 2016.
On to question 5. So, Manchester United obviously won the League Cup and have the chance to win the FA Cup.
Yeah.
What was the first team, well, who was the first team to win both the FA Cup and League Cup in the same season? First team to do it?
Do we have a year?
No, because it will give it. I think it will give. Because I know he knows everyone that's won the FA Cup in different years.
I do
and
actually
stuff.
know this because
Yeah,
I did Sporkle with my
I'm-
mate
yeah, I'm
in
not-
year
I'm not gonna
13,
give it
so
away
I do
'cause
know.
I think it gives him an advantage.
I know every FA Cup winner. Nearly.
In time.
Yeah.
What's another one? Old Carthusians and Oxford University. There's a few too. There's a couple. There you go.
But did they win the FA Cup and League Cup in the same season?
No, because the League Cup was invented in like the 50s, I'm pretty sure. But
Ipswich Town.
Incorrect.
it's a bold claim. Because the thing is, it's a cup double. It's not the double. You know, the first team to win the double, to win 2 trophies in the same season,
we
was
get that
Tottenham Hotspur, but that was the league title.
Can we get the answer though?
I
Your
think the
answer.
first team to win the cup double, to win both those cups in the same
All right,
season.
can we get an answer?
Screw it. Man United, 1999.
Incorrect.
Is it Arsenal?
It's Arsenal.
I knew it. It's like early 90s, isn't it?
1993.
I knew it. I actually knew it. God.
I do have a bonus question for this one though.
Yeah.
Which is up for, you're going to have to use your buzzers for it.
Bloody knew
to get
it.
in. The bonus question, Arsenal played the exact same team in both finals. What team was it? In both the
Hey,
league-
Spurs!
Incorrect.
What? I know this. I know this.
You
I know
played
this.
the same team in both the League Cup
I
final.
think I know this.
and
I
the FA
think
Cup
I
final.
think I
What
know
final
this.
am I thinking of then?
1993. No, we played Spurs in the FA Cup
I'm-
semi-final
Yeah.
that year. I think we played. Ding, Sheffield Wednesday.
Correct.
Yeah, 'cause I-
Sheffield Wednesday.
I know, and we played an FA Cup replay, and Andy Linnigan scored the winner, and we celebrated with him and injured him in the process.
Brilliant.
I think Tony Adams injured him by like lifting up and carrying him and
That was
stuff.
the controversial one when we offered to play a replay, wasn't it?
No, that was like round 4 or something,
It is currently 4-0.
and we beat
and
Sheffield
are on
United.
question
Yeah, I think
6.
that was the same run though.
Come on, give me it.
Question 6.
What's the score?
4-0.
All right.
Question 6. You're going to need to start picking up points here, actually.
Cheers, mate.
The Dutch Super Cup is officially named after which Dutch player?
Ding, Johan Cruyff.
Correct. Nice and easy, that one. It's called
That
the
means-
Johan Cruyff Shield.
That means he can't get it now because we ran off the last question. It says 4 left, 9 5 0 up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, there you go. 5-0. He's running away with it, but you can still get some points on the board here. Question 7. 9 Englishmen have won the Golden Boot in Premier League history. For 1 point, name 5 of them, but if you can name all of them without fail,
Wait for name 5.
I'll give 2 of them 2 points. You're going to need to tell me if you're going to name 5.
Oh, it's still on.
I'm gonna name. Wait,
It's still on.
what? Do I lose a point?
No.
But wait, how many points do I get if I name all 9?
If you name all 9, you get 2 points.
I'm gonna try and name one for 5.
Okay.
Ding, Harry Kane, Jamie Vardy, Kevin Phillips, Alan Shearer. There's another one. There's another. Ted Sheringham.
Yeah.
Can I not go one better and just do the whole 9?
I'll
Once I've named 5, I think
Yeah.
he only get.
Yeah,
and then there's
no.
4. You can't.
No.
If I'd got it wrong, then he doesn't know
Yeah,
if he doesn't know if any of them are right.
Okay, fine. Is he
The last, obvious, the
is
last
Ian
one.
White on there?
Huh?
Is Ian White on there?
No.
I'm pretty sure he hasn't. Yeah.
Can you guys name the others? Just
Well, not Ian Wright.
Kane? Did you say Kane?
he said Kane, yeah.
Cole.
Andy Cole, yeah, is on there. Player won the Ballon d'Or.
Oh,
Michael
Owen.
Owen.
Yeah,
Michael Owen.
Michael
Oh,
Owen's on
Fowler.
Fowler's not on there.
Fowler's not on there.
No,
Say Rooney.
Oh, Wayne. Oh, bloody.
not on there.
Oh my.
He's never won a goal.
So
That's disgraceful.
Teddy Sheringham, Andy Cole, Alan Shearer, Dion Dublin,
Jamie Vardy.
Oh,
Michael Owen,
I said Vardy.
Chris Sutton, Kevin Phillips,
Sutton.
Harry Kane, and Jamie.
Didn't
Vardy.
Chris
Did Sutton win it
Sutton
when he was
win
at
it?
Blackburn?
Norwich, I think.
Or
He
not
was at
Norwich?
I haven't got the years down.
Must have
but
been at Norwich.
Chris
That's
Sutton won it.
pre-Shearer.
No, but Shearer and Sutton were quite close in goal scoring.
It must have been, yeah, because they were together, yeah.
So,
SAS.
Didn't get
6-0.
on, I don't think.
Question 8. A man walks onto a pitch is the name of which former Premier League manager's autobiography? awful name for an autobiography.
Man walks onto a pitch.
Yeah.
Former Premier League manager.
Former Premier League manager.
So are they retired?
They could be in another country. They're still a former Premier League manager.
A man walks onto a pitch.
Man walks onto a pitch.
I have a feeling this manager is not an icon of the game. I don't know why, but I watched a podcast where they mentioned I've got two in my name, two in my head, and they both managed. I'm going to go ding. Oh no, it might be a good one. Oh, if it's screw it.
You said ding. You need to give me an answer.
Kevin Keegan.
Incorrect.
Koppel.
What?
Steve Koppel.
No. Incorrect.
Can I say, there was another one that I was thinking of another two that have managed Newcastle. Is it Steve Bruce or Alan Pardew?
It's neither.
Tony
of them.
Pulis.
Harry Redknapp.
Oh, come on, Harry. Surely it should be, the wheeling dealing 101.
Yeah, Harry Redknapp's autobiography is called A Man Walks Onto a Pitch.
Oh, such a shame. This could be so much better.
Question 9. The score is 6-0. Still, question 9. Who was the last West Ham player to win a Premier League Player of the Month award?
Surely it's not.
The last man.
Did any of them win one last year? I don't think they did. It can't. Ding Payet.
Incorrect.
Okay, it's not that far back then.
He
He
definitely.
definitely.
That is too far.
I know, but I'd remember the card.
Think,
No,
Ashley,
I know.
think.
I know.
Think.
Is it obvious?
Think of West Ham players over the years. How West Ham have been doing in the past couple of seasons, maybe.
Ariola. Keepers never win it because of FIFA. I think the haters.
And Cresswell. I'm joking. I didn't buzz. Bang. I don't know why this player's come to mind. I mean, I want to say Declan Rice, but I don't. So I'm just going to say Souček.
Incorrect.
Is it Bowen?
No.
Antonio.
No, I was
No.
Antonio as well.
Anzini.
Jesse Lingard.
Oh
April
God,
2021.
that's so sneaky.
Yeah, nice.
All right, that's good. That's
there you
yeah.
go.
That was vibes.
That's very clever.
Right,
from
final
you.
question. We've not got long left, so final question. What year was the last time Arsenal played Tottenham at Wembley? Obviously, Man United, Man City, derby at Wembley. When was this derby last played
Remember
at
the
Wembley?
game.
I need a year.
Remember the game. Of course you
Ding.
remember the game.
The 18-19 season.
Correct.
Yeah, it was.
Ramsey scored. We drew 1-1.
2019.
And Aubameyang missed.
Premier League match in March
Fun-
2019.
Fun
1-1.
little fact for you. When Aubameyang missed that penalty, I ran to my bedroom and bashed my phone on my bunk bed and broke it. And it cost me 20 quid to fix it later that day.
Well, there you go. The final score is 6-0. I did have a bonus question.
What
We'll
is
see
it?
if you can get it.
Yeah.
How many Americans have won the Premier League in its history?
Ooh.
How many Americans? Think.
I know.
I mean, it's only a bonus question, so you can think it through. out loud.
I know at least one. I know at least one's done it.
I can't think of one.
Any
I
guesses? What's the answer?
I think if they were the first, I would have found out and I'd have seen it. So I'm going to say 2.
Incorrect. Any guesses? It doesn't mean anything.
I don't know who your one is.
I know.
It doesn't mean anything.
No, I can't think. 3.
Incorrect. The answer is 1.
Zach Steffen.
Zach Steffen.
No, he's the
is
only
one
one.
and only American to win the Premier League.
Matthew, you've got a job on your hands here.
And
You've got a
that
job, Matt.
is
Come on.
the end of the episode. Isaac wins 6-0 in the quiz. So that first question doesn't matter anyway. So
That's exactly how you respond to controversy.
So there we go. That is the end of the episode. We hope you enjoyed. We'll be back in the studio next week, hopefully. And yeah, we will see you next week for another episode of the Footballing Question podcast. In a bit.